GN Sports Show, powered by the Calvin Ayre Foundation.
Good evening and welcome to another episode of the GN Sports Show. We're now into season 6 of the GN Sports Show and I'm George Dublin.
I'm Terry Andrew. Thank you so much for joining us here.
Yeah, Terry, we don't have a packed show this evening for you, but we have a stacked show for you and it's stacked with information. We have with us coming on this show this evening is Kieran McKenzie, president or former president of the UWI 5 Islands Guild of Students and student representative of the UWI Board of Undergrad Studies.
Certainly. Also coming in our champion circle is for national netball player and the national handball player, the former national football player, Everdeen Parker Barnard, should be joining us.
Yes, and also Terry, your favorite guest, the man that you have introduced many and too many times on this show, as we should say. Dr. Rick Millis will be in the house here and has a very interesting topic for us here, Terry.
Yeah, certainly. And it is, and he has the World Cup fever, so it's somewhere along the lines of the World Cup. You have to stay tuned right here on the GN Sports Show for a whole lot more.
Our vision is to become the premier platform for showcasing and empowering young student athletes, providing them with the tools and exposure to excel both in sports and life, while shaping the next generation of confident, media-savvy leaders. The GN Sports Show is dedicated to highlighting the talent and stories of young student athletes across all sports disciplines. We aim to equip them with vital media exposure and public speaking skills, helping them grow into confident individuals both on and off the field. Through engaging interviews, mentorship, and real-world media experiences, we strive to foster personal and professional development that supports their athletic journeys.
Welcome back to the GN Sports Show. And joining us in studio is Mr. Kieran McKenzie, former president of the UWI 5 Islands Guild of Students, student representative on the UWI Board of Undergrad Studies, and young leader who has been active in regional studies advocacy. He has represented the 5 Islands campus at the Inter-Campus Guild Council meeting and continued to be a voice for youth, leadership, education, access, and student development across Antigua and Barbuda and the wider Caribbean. Mr. McKenzie, welcome.
Thank you for having me. You and yourself, Mr. Andrew.
You know, that's it. So who is Kieran McKenzie outside of the former president of the UWI Guild?
If I should start, well, Kieran McKenzie overall is like, a football player, someone who advocates.
Like or a football
Well, is a football player.
He's a football player.
Yeah, does advocacy work outside of football and, other youth leadership stuff, in our community and so forth.
All right. Who pushed you into student leadership, or what made you go into student leadership?
I don't really have anybody per se, but what I should say when it comes to, that motivation in terms of going into student leadership or leadership overall is just having that drive of, advocating and, helping others, whether it's a school setup or in a community or something like that.
So you've just always been that person that just want to help people that need and see that things go right.
Yeah, it was actually a drive that I saw. I think it was a small quote. I don't remember the quote, but it was this motivational guy who I always listen to, which is Jim Rohn. He's like a motivational speaker when it comes to finances and so forth. Mm-hmm. That's why I'm studying banking and finance, because I actually got into that level of, when it comes to education, the education side of it, I actually focused on finance and accounting and so forth.
So you have a passion for keeping the money.
Basically, yes.
Over.
How money works and so forth.
All
yeah.
Right.
Anyway, just in case someone didn't know, just tell someone that you came from the best secondary school in the country, Alton Secondary School. Just putting that one out there, first of all. And
so you just put that out there.
Yeah.
Then I was gonna ask him, because he seems like a grammar school guy to me.
Come on, man.
I get that a lot.
Come on,
the
man.
way which he speaks and carries himself, he seems like a grammar school guy to me.
Anyway, Kenneth, you just correct him right now. Tell him Alton Secondary, and that's it. All right. But he's from the newer bunch. I'm from the older bunch. Okay. just putting that out there. Youth Parliament. You're part of Youth Parliament early on.
Well, used to, yeah.
Early on, coming out of Also in secondary?
Yes, correct, yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure that kind of navigated your path towards leadership and want to be, student leaders.
When it comes to youth parliament, but even youth parliament overall is I have three friends that I'm surrounded by, Shakwan, Esquire, and Krishan. We were actually youth ambassador during that time.
Okay.
So all of us still have a passion for politics. It has been growing. We keep on motivating each other. So that's also one of the push when it comes to having that sort of leadership within the country itself, and especially regionally, because we do attend a lot of regional conferences, international conferences as well.
Mm-hmm.
I actually got in the chance to went to Thailand. It didn't push you, but at the same time I got to go virtually. Instead of going in person, I went online. So that was one of my well-thought experience. It was open-minded, given that I wasn't there in person. So just learning from other persons, leaders across, both the regional board and also the international side of it. It just gravitated to me to push more and on and on for leadership and so forth.
We always say on the show we like we like what we like again, sir?
We like student athletes.
Student athletes. And you are the epitome of.
But yeah, I went to
of a student.
arts in secondary school.
Yeah.
Arts in school like student athletes.
Yeah. We like student athletes, and football is one of your main sport. I'm just gonna go straight to the UE games in Trinidad. Because I was watching it, I was following it most of the times, and you guys beat Mona, right? But before we get to Mona, just the coming back to the UE games after that while of not having from COVID that caused the thing, but kind of bring us back to having that experience, because you meet students, you get to play sport, and it's not only football, but it's an entire cadre.
Yeah.
But just talk about that for a bit.
UE games, from my experience, is one of a kind. It's my first time attending, given that it would have stopped during COVID and started back this year. And I'm basically going on a twofold portfolio. I'm going as a student athlete and I'm going as a student representative of the guild. So when it comes to the sports side of it, just having that experience of traveling to the next country to partake in different competitions, sporting disciplines, whether it's football, basketball, or volleyball. I should say Trinidad is nice. It's like a little Olympics.
Yes,
basically.
Okay.
You're getting to meet people, you get into network, you get into be competing against each other at a very high level, because just football itself, we played against, especially Mona, we played some persons who were playing in the Jamaica Premier League. It's really good. Just seeing that we would have collected about 4 medals showed all the schools around us that, the different campuses, that we are one of a threatening force. We would have collected medals in football, I think female basketball, and also track and field, and also swimming. So that was a takeaway for us, given the fact that, and I must say that they underestimated us when it comes to football, because they didn't know that we were small in size, given the comparison. But at the same time, they didn't know that we had all these skills and, that level of togetherness when it comes to our playing.
Is it only football you played?
Yes, correct.
And how much so Antigua part in every discipline that there was in these games, or we just choose the ones that we could?
Well, we participated in 10 out of 12 sports.
10 out of 12?
Yeah.
So what didn't we participate?
We didn't partake in hockey and I think female cricket, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I think that.
All right. So we didn't medal in the basketball. We had a parliamentarian in the basketball team. I was a former parliamentarian. We had a former parliamentarian and the thing.
Yeah, in men. Yeah.
We medal in basketball.
Yeah. So basketball, football, swimming, and also
athletics.
Some in track. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I saw him.
I showed them the highlights of when she was dominating the country. I showed them that.
So if you had to say, right, one of the reasons why. So which we won the
overall? It was Mona.
It's Mona. That's the one in Jamaica.
Yeah.
And St. Augustine is the one in Trinidad.
Yes.
And Antigua is UE5 Island, and then there's
Cave Hill is Barbados, and then Global is all the different sites.
Okay, so Global is all the different.
So like open campus in different territories in the Caribbean.
I want to know if we need to be able to have our intellectual needs to be better at sport, or how you think we could balance?
I mean, there's factors to it, but one of the main factors I could say that affected us is basically the number of persons we have on campus. Because if you look at the difference between us and Kville, the comparison is basically 5,000 in between. We have 1,000, they have about 6,000. And then when you look at us and Trinidad, which Trinidad have about 15,000 students. So it's I wouldn't say it's mainly about intellectual and sports. It's mainly about the numbers that we have. And another thing as well, most of these campuses have a development program when it comes to sport and discipline and so forth. So whereas we would have just picked up a student to coach our different teams.
I wonder how they didn't get half of the job.
they would have had a coach or a management style when it comes to different teams implemented there a long time ago. So it's mainly about the numbers, and we still look at our campus as a baby. So it's
so knowing you and realizing that is what those bigger campuses do. I'm assuming that you're looking to put these kind of things in place to be better in the next 2 years.
Yeah,
are you going to be around in the next 2 years is the question.
Well, I told my principal that once I graduate next year, I'm going to still help him out when I can.
Okay, balancing both athletics and the academics. You've been doing it for a while in high school and now at university level. Is it difficult in an environment that like an environment like Antigua?
Okay, so I'll start off with secondary school. When I first got into football, was actually first form, where I would have played for the under 17 secondary school, Austin Secondary School, where we lost. I remember this vividly, where we lost against the PMS 3-1. And just a little backstory before that, when I got into football at first form, I actually repeated 3 times in secondary school. Yeah, so
I repeated once.
So football. So you say this football, do that?
Basically, yes. So when at first form, I repeated first form, I was still studying football. I mean, at second form, I think I remember us traveling to Trinidad for the, what is it called? The
Kickstart.
For the Manchester United stuff.
Right, Kickstart.
Well, that was third form, and I actually repeated third form that same year.
It's flow
sports skills.
Right, yeah.
Something like
skill
that.
challenge, flow skill challenge was. Right.
Yeah, so I actually repeated third form that year as well. And then I repeated third form again.
And all that is
just because of football.
So then how did you get so good at what you're doing now then?
So, I mean, reality came into play where I had an option to go to Abyss after third form. Because, I mean, it was a very tough moment where my parents had that decision whether I'm going to stay in school or I'm going to go to Abyss. I told them I want to stay in school because I'm going to prove them wrong that, I can do both at the same time. So after being promoted into fourth form, I still kept on, keeping football heavily, where I would have participated in the under 17 national team. We went to Miami, and also actually came on the principal list that year. So when it comes to managing both, that's the secondary school level. It was quite difficult at first because, I mean, in our reality, if you started off with something, you're not going to be perfect at it at one time. So it's about learning and gravitating and having a resilience force in terms of knowing whether you should, stick to this or not stick to this. When it comes to UE and, beyond that, it's about managing my time well. I don't go to training every day. That's one. My team before understood that, and that's the Attacking Saints Football Club. They know that I'm a UE student. They know I was guild president at the time, so it's about them, finding that way of me coming to training and me, focusing on my schoolwork, and just as a former guild president, just managing, that that large amount of students, where we have about 1,500 students and still have accounts to deal with, is very much, as of a burden, I should say, but at the same time rewarding, because at the same time, it's not just about advocating, it's about, getting connection with our students. So it's just like a parliamentarian or even a minister. It's just about, having that love for the community and having that well taught, having information and so forth. So balancing the two after secondary school, well, going into university was pretty easy for me. There's a lot of times where I'm up late. Sometimes I don't even sleep. Sometimes I'd be like up until 4 a.m. and then I still have to get ready to go to UE. So it's all about knowing how to manage your time, and that time management skill is very important. And I always tell persons around me, seek about the most important things first. It's very important that we prioritize our health in certain aspects. Well, in all aspects, but at the same time, we have to have that love for what we do in terms of that. So that's just how I cope with it.
All right. Before we move on, I'm just tracking back your football, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, from what I could remember, you brought Attacking Saints into the Premier League.
Basically,
and as the captain of Attacking Saints. You played
vice captain.
Oh, vice captain. And you played a season in the Premier League with them?
Yeah.
And you moved on to
Villa, yeah.
What caused...
For me, when it comes to, transitioning from Attacking Saints to Villa was mainly a communication problem in terms of how the Attacking Saints is set up.
Okay.
And about the discipline as well. Because at the same time, I'm a no-nonsense person, although when it comes to having discipline and when it comes to, managing persons and treating persons, I think that we should have that level of empathy when it comes to anything that we do. So that was one of our main problems when it comes to Attacking Saints. I mean, I still love all the players, I still love the management and so forth. Even up to last week, I saw our manager and she smiled and gave me a hug. So that's really my transitioning into, going to Villa.
Going to Villa.
And I was a part of Villa even before, so just going there was, still like a warm welcome. And so we did also understand that I have, that level of commitment as well, and pin up as well. So it was, once I was called upon,
So would we be seeing Mr. McKenzie in the Premier League this year?
Of course.
With Villa? Because Habas is in the Premier League now, you know that, right?
Yes, I do.
Nobody LF is in the Premier League though. So you won't have to worry about that, it's only worry about me, right? So from here going forward, what are some of the things first of all, how is the UE Guild? You're not the president anymore.
No.
Is it a term thing, or is it a vote in, vote out, or you could only be president for a certain time and then somebody else has to take over?
Okay, so the same 3 parts. So it's 1 year, vote in, vote out.
Okay.
And you can only be president twice. So I would have gotten president by voting in 2025, and I didn't run back again.
Oh, you didn't run.
Yeah,
okay,
because I know I was finishing next year, so it didn't make sense to me to go again. But at the same time, a lot of students was asking me like, why didn't I run again? And
so I feel like you feel it's going to lose.
me?
I just feel
And you were overwhelmingly voted into the presidency, right? Okay, connecting education, sports, and career development for young people. Are we doing enough here on Ireland, in your estimation?
From my perspective, probably if I had to do it by percentage, probably say 55%. Reasons why I say 55%. I don't see, because when I compare, and I always have to compare with our Caribbean, sisters and brothers, because at the same time, I look at Barbados, I see what they're doing. I look at Trinidad, I see what they're doing. I'm not withstanding and saying that Antigua is not doing enough. But at the same time, I don't think we're taking the information from our other Caribbean countries and implementing it here. And that's what I would have taken a step when it comes to the guild. So when I look at, how my fellow guild members are doing over there, I then try to implement it here in Antigua and Barbados. So it's just about, having that commitment when it comes to, looking forward, when it comes to career development and also education and sport. I just think we have to move on to the next level and not just, because sometimes we see a lot of persons and they're, stuck in their ways. But at the same time, they need to understand that we're moving in a direction that we're always developing, when it comes to technology, when it comes to, the economy and so forth.
You're into accounting now, your former president, UE Guild, is still over the undergrad studies and so on. What next, Mackenzie? When you graduate next year, you get masters, bachelors, what is coming? What
degree are you doing?
Oh, I'm doing the bachelor's degree now.
Okay. The bachelor's degree. So what next, Mackenzie?
Well, right after I'm going to do my master's in corporate finance.
And you did it here?
I'm still contemplating.
Still contemplating.
Yeah, because I have the choice. That's why the guild president, it gives, well, I didn't know that until I was finished, but I was rewarded, every guild president is rewarded a master's degree, a free master's degree.
Anywhere?
Yeah.
In the UWI campus?
Any UWI campus,
okay,
yeah.
Okay, makes sense.
So what are you going to do?
That's what I'm still contemplating. I might do it here, given that I want to, I'm always want to give back to our country and
Yeah,
so
but
forth.
I could understand it, but I'm going to tell you. Do it somewhere else. And just for the experience. But
Yes, that's
just
one
for
as
the
well, because I
experience of
want
being
to
somewhere else.
I want to experience that campus life.
Yeah,
that's something I
because
wanted.
You're home
wanted
here,
to do.
innit?
Yeah.
Yes, I think you should do it somewhere else, just so that, and it's free, so even better. You don't have to really worry about much.
But in the next 2 years, if you're at any of those UWI campuses, you're going to be playing against 5 You're going to be playing against 5 and that would be nice. Anyway, finally, just before, of course, advice for young people. Some still trying to navigate that student-athlete relationship. They're still thinking about, hey, listen, I think, because we have been learning on this show, and George can tell you, that football and playing football or playing sports in general actually help with the academics. And we've got that from doctoral source. From a doctor. Our doctor in the house told us that sports and academics go hand in hand.
Yes,
there's
correct.
no one way, no way, and one way, no the other way. So, yeah, just advice for young people.
What I should say to every young person here in Antigua and Barbuda, even beyond that scope, is just to have that level of commitment in anything that you do, whether it's football, education, and so forth. Just have that level of resilience, because there's nothing in life is easy. Everything in life just comes at you with a rapid pace. You must be able to learn how to maneuver. You must be able to network, because that's one of the things that are very important, is to network with people that are you surround yourself with people that are even just a little above you and so forth. And it's always about, seeing that side of how you can motivate yourself. Because at the same time, you may have some persons who are your close friend, but still doesn't have that same drive as you. But at the same time, you must understand that, in life, that you must have that level of, concentration. As I said, level of commitment, because that's one thing that's part of my, philosophy, commitment and resilience. Things are going to knock you down, whether it's football, whether it's education. Things are going to come at you at alarming pace, But you just have to be able to have that backbone in terms of, being committed and having that drive to do great things in life.
You said surround yourself with people that are even better than you, so you can actually learn from them. You've surrounded yourself with the country's youngest senator in Shakwan. Is he nervous? Tell us something there that we don't know. Is he nervous to stand up in Parliament and talk, or he's just relishing the opportunity?
Okay, I'll tell you something that you don't know. He's not nervous, and he's willing to take on any challenges that comes to it.
Okay. What if your name was called for that senatorship?
Same
thing?
Same thing.
Are you guys helping one another?
Yes, that's one thing that we do.
Helping him do this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome. Right. Well, Kieran, we'd just like to thank you for coming on the show. We wish you all the best in your studies and your continued development in the sport of football. And they're playing for Villa, but we just have to go with it, So you take care of yourself, and looking forward to hearing great things about you in the future.
All right, thanks a lot.
All right, and we'll be right back with the GN Sports Show.
Welcome back to the GN Sports Show. As you know, on this show, we not only feature footballers and student athletes, we have other sports as well, sporting players as well, here in Antigua and Barbuda, that we would like to feature on occasions. Like our guest tonight comes from netball. She's a national netball player. Plus, she's added handball to her repertoire of sports that she plays. Her name is Everdeen Parker Barnard, and she joins us in studio for conversation. Thank you so much for joining us here on the GN Sports Show, Everdeen.
You're welcome.
All right. Her nickname is Rebel. So anyone that you know named Rebel or nicknamed Rebel must know she is a rebel. All right. Netball. First of all, there's a question here that I think we need to get out. Who is Everdeen Parker away from the netball court?
I'm a
And that
mom
sort of thing.
and a wife and a family person. I'm basically always home with my children, away from sports, once I'm not playing sports.
Football, netball, no handball. You have played cricket?
Yes.
And you play basketball as well?
It's not something that I like, but I used to.
Okay, let's go with netball because your team, Sweets
Roman Hill.
Sweets Roman Hill, been doing well in netball. I think you lost yet. You haven't lost a match yet?
No.
Netball. Why netball though?
Netball is my all-time favorite sport. It was my second love after cricket.
After cricket.
Yeah. From Golden Grove Primary School with Ada Sandy, she threw me in everything. I used to run track, I used to play kiddie cricket, I used to play tennis, I used to literally do everything. But then when I moved to secondary school, I started playing netball at the age of 11, going junior secondary, first form.
And from netball?
I developed a love for it, netball. Then I used to go and watch football every now and then. I always wanted to play, but my daddy like, oh, you not gonna play no football, one woman pick me, have it for me wife, and I go, yeah, so.
So your daddy wasn't really encouraging the football part of it?
The football part of it, he was against it, totally. So then, I used to go and watch a game, and, during PE, Chesley used to go and throw me on, and I was good at it. And he pestered my daddy until when I reached second form now. He said, you know what? She can go and play, but anything do she, you go pay the doctor bill coming up, And then football took off from there.
Alright, so Terry, two we here. I know Parker Barnard now, as a footballer.
Yeah.
You understand?
I know
coaching Lady Hoppers, and she come down like a twig, but she was feisty, And I always I like feisty football, you know what I'm saying? Because if you're not feisty, you can't really play. So that why I know, but I didn't know cricket was involved. And then I think maybe last year, a year ago, I see Antigua netball team, and I see Parker picture. So I had to call Parker, because Parker keeping things in me. I thought we were friends. Because she used to tell me I your favorite coach, so I can't believe these things.
But he never asked.
He never asked.
So, alright, so I never asked. Alright, so I'll take that one. So, as Terry say, Sweets Roman Hill hasn't lost the game. I was watching, like somebody used to post the MVP of the games in them and so on. And every time I see Parker MVP, I write below Parker for the win. But I seen all kind of thing coming up, Parker. I may see you until like week 3, week 4. So, I had to get a bit worried.
Sometimes they don't post on time. So
So you're supposed to.
yeah.
It's not that you're not doing it.
Sometimes, and then for us, we only played 2 female games so far, while others have played 3 and 4 and 5.
You got an MVP in one of the female games that you have played?
Yes, the first one.
Parker twice. Oh, the first one. Alright, well, me forgive if you get the second one then. Because if you get the second one,
Sometimes you have to give somebody else, and we have a defender there that was working, so.
Alright, brother.
Okay, but still in netball, but this is on the national level. At the last, was it the OECS?
The OECS.
Last OECS netball championship. She was Antigua and Barbuda's MVP. Now, this is no regular. I mean, I guess every team has an MVP.
Yeah, every team has an MVP.
Yeah, so she was the standout for Antigua. Yeah, at that point. Where are we nationally when it comes to where netball is compared to other Caribbean countries? I think I asked you this already, and we talked about this already, but just for the audience that didn't know. But go ahead.
Okay, so on the ranking currently, we stand at 42.
Was it in the Caribbean?
42 in the world.
Okay, alright.
Yeah, but I think that is totally wrong because St. Kitts have not been playing any netball for quite a number of years and they're still above us. I don't understand that logic, but
It is what it is.
it is what it is. Locally though, I don't think that we get the support that other sports get or enough attention because most of the time we raise our funds to go and play to get Antigua on the map. So
Yeah, and they decided to bring this village league in to kind of get
Communities.
communities to come. I mean, the crowds haven't been bad, no? Crowds haven't been bad.
no, it's been good.
Certain places.
It's been good. Like I know the last village league we played in at Willie Keys for the first time. Like when the guys said, "Wait, man, play netball too," they were excited about it. And in this village league here, Willie Keys have a mixed team, male and female.
So
Other villages has come in with both mixed team and female teams.
So you can have mix and you have straight female.
You can have mixed and you have straight female.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, how much teams in the female league that's going on now?
I think it's about 9 or 10. Whereas the mix is 4.
Mix is 4. Okay, and but I could understand when you say y'all don't get enough support and y'all have to raise y'all funds. But netball was kind of out of it for a while, isn't it?
Yes, it was.
And how long now has it been, back up and trying to get
Well,
itself
why-
established? Because netball, in my time, netball was popular. Netball was mad popular.
Yeah.
So I just trying to figure out, where do you think you all are in terms of getting back to that and,
Well, with the president we have now, Karen Joseph, we are getting there. The last national outing that I actually played before last year was in 2016. That's before I even have children. That's when we went to St. Martin for Battle of the Saints. That was the last national I played. 2024, however, they called me, but I had already booked a ticket to take back my son to the States, so I didn't make that competition. But I see to it that, I make myself available for this one because I see that they needed the assistance, and why not?
Alright, so in the tournament that y'all went to, the OECS tournament it was last summer, ain't it?
Yes,
Last
in
summer.
August.
How much teams was in that tournament?
I think it was about 10.
About 10?
10 on.
And how much did y'all place?
What?
Y'all place. So who won that tournament?
St. Vincent.
And what would you say gave St. Vincent that? Did y'all play St. Vincent in any games at all?
Yes, we did.
And what was the scoreline?
It wasn't
lost,
big.
though.
We lost, but it wasn't big.
And from the tournament, what was your takeaways from it in terms of our development, where we are as a netball in Ireland, and in terms of infrastructure?
To me, fitness. A lot of the players weren't fit. We had the guys from Defence Force came and did fitness with us, getting us ready, and a lot of the players, they weren't consistent with their training. So you not being consistent, like for myself, I never missed a training. I was always there because I know the work that I have to put in because of the results that I was looking for.
Right.
And if we had that from every player, I think the games that we lost, especially St. Lucia game, that game hurt me to the core. We would have placed higher. Maybe we might not win out, but we would come at least a second. That's in my opinion.
Okay, so from our association point of view, and I know that the association is just trying to reform, and the president, which is Ms. Karen Joseph, said it is. I know they're trying their best to get it. So do we need to play more games outside the tournament games?
Definitely
do you think
we need
to have a better youth development structure, things like that?
We definitely need to play more games, that's one. And two, I think we need a better structure, whereas in developing netball from an early stage. Like my daughter, she goes to Baptist Academy, and Baptist don't really play competitive sports.
Right. Yeah, we've been learning that.
Right? But she's eager to learn because my mommy played this, my mom played that, and she always said, Mommy, I'm going to be just like you. I'm going to play everything, I'm going to be good at it. But her school don't do that. So then, and there's not a team where, okay, at her age, there are competitions like Village League and these things that those younger ones who are trying to learn can come and play.
Right. So you think if from the association point of view, if it is possible that they should start a grassroots program
yes.
where they could be, even if they don't do a league, at least the association itself could do a grassroots program where young kids who want to learn could actually come. Maybe to YMCA or wherever.
So like now school is out for the summer, like they could have done something that involved the younger children.
Alright. So so after the netball and so on, and me and you always talk because your son comes to Generation Next and so on, and me have always been good. We never really passed no one, we gotta be there. I see there's handball being introduced into Antigua. I saw handball on the TV a couple of times I passed through, but I never paid no attention. Just give us a small breakdown on what handball is about.
Yeah.
Okay, so
in terms of the amount of players on the pitch, what part of your bodies you could use, and that's kind of.
Okay, so the handball that I played is actually beach handball because there are two different types of handball. There's court handball and there's beach handball. Court handball, I think, use 7 players. I don't know much about that. But for the beach handball, you can have 10 players on a team. But on the actual pitch is 4 players.
4 and the keeper?
No,
the 5 or the
keeper included in the 4. You have a specialist. The specialist acts as a keeper. So that we play, how we played it, we played it with a keeper who stays when we are defending. Once we go into attack mode, the keeper exits and the specialist comes on. The specialist and the keeper wear the same uniform, while the other players have a different uniform.
So there's nobody has to be notified on the substitution. And
No, because we already know. Once we're attacking, who is defending, we know when to exit, when to enter.
Okay, so you're part of the Antigua team that went to St. Kitts the other day.
Yes.
When you guys said handball, I was thinking about that handball.
you
I think I was talking about
the racket thing.
The racket thing.
Okay.
Oh, but how was that experience though? Because I mean, that was the first time Antigua was putting the team together. Like they spent like a month or so getting ready, learning the game, and then taking part in a Caribbean tournament. Talk about that.
Well, for me, the experience was a great one. Learning handball when we basically don't know anything and go into a tournament where you're playing against people that played in tournaments before, people like Canada and USA. Those were two teams that we played.
Played Canada and USA.
Yes.
That was crazy. That was crazy.
Yes.
That was good. And
we got that group.
yeah, wait, just before we move on. What about netball and handball that coincide? Because I saw a lot of netball girls were part of that too.
Yes, because
What about
it
that
would
that
have
make
been easier for us to adopt because we don't establish the one-to-one netball. With handball, it's 3 steps. So then it would have been easier, and because we done custom to be jumping and all that, it is a little more easier for us to get it quicker.
Yeah. So honestly, I don't know if you ever saw it, but I'll show you. Don't worry. I saw some people flying in the air.
Yes,
I've seen a couple of times. I've seen
And
a
I'm
couple of
thinking,
times.
what's going on? And they said that counts as 2.
It has a special twist to it because if you're a specialist, anyhow you score, it's 2 points.
Okay. What about the one that spins
When
in the
you
air?
spin, that's 2. If you stand up and you shoot it 1 foot in the air, that counts as 2. If you just stand up and score regular, that's 1.
And
But as long as you do a little twist or something with it counts as 2.
yeah, so I saw them jumping from the last line before you reach the goal. I saw them jumping from there, spinning in the air and throwing it like, and they said
And you
that counts
have to release the ball before you land.
Before you land.
Over the line and on the floor. Else it's no goal.
So let me ask you this.
That is crazy.
Is there areas that
crazy.
y'all can't go into?
Yes, you cannot go into the keeping area. If you're defending and you're trying to block and you end up in there, it's fine. But once you're scoring, you cannot be over that line.
So when you jump to shoot, you can't land over the line
No.
either. So
And you
shoot
have
over.
to release that ball before you land.
So if I am defending, you're jumping to shoot, and I'm jumping, going to block, and I land
You end up
inside,
over there,
I'm
that's
alright.
fine. Yes.
Okay. But I can't be standing over there.
No.
But this is a work in progress though, because honestly, when I heard that you guys were only practicing for a month and then about to take part in a Caribbean tournament, I'm thinking, well, that's a jump.
And then I think we did pretty well because, I mean, after our first game and we realized that we can do certain things and you cannot do certain things, while we continue to play,
You
we
kinda get in it.
understand it a little more.
Okay. So how
That's an
was
athlete's
the how
mind.
was the
That's an
process now?
athlete's
So did y'all get a coach in, or somebody he had a brief idea about it, so they
Well,
started the process?
Mr. Keston Daly, he used to play it in Cuba, but he played court handball, so the rules are slightly different, and he didn't know that. So he was basically teaching us what he know from court handball. Whereas it still wasn't hard because it's almost the same
Same
rules,
thing?
but
Okay,
just
okay.
that with court handball you can bounce the ball and all that. Understand you can't do that because the ball is not going to
Come up
bounce.
there.
Okay.
So he was there teaching us and doing whatever with us. We were supposed to get a coach at least 3 weeks before we go down, but that didn't materialize. We end up and get a coach 3 days before we travel
And the coach
from
came
Puerto
here.
Rico. Yes, he came here. He spent the days with us. We get leave from work. And we train in the morning and afternoon just to see if we can cram everything before heading down to St. Kitts.
Okay. And y'all got into this tournament through the Olympic, the Olympic
The
committee?
IHF, yes.
All right. Okay. So hey, listen. I believe that in broadening your horizons in terms
Me too.
of sport, I don't think
me too.
we are too caught on the norms, the basketball, the
Cricket,
football, the
football.
cricket. You know what I'm saying? So I would honestly think. But I think if we do go into these things, we have to go into it from the grassroots perspective. You understand what I'm saying? Because we jump straight into the deep in here. Because he played USA and it's straight into the deep. We jump straight into the deep.
Yeah, I saw some cricketers playing on the male side. I saw some cricketers playing there too. And I'm thinking, but they were doing the acrobatic spins and so on. And I'm thinking,
Amal Nathaniel.
Yeah, Amal and so.
He was good with the spin, and Naya. Naya played netball with me as well, but he also played football.
The slim.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well,
that is wild.
Well, it's nice to really get to know about a sport other than what we are accustomed to. But we will go into my baby now. I tell you, like he wants to get into that. Football parks. We didn't have female league for some number of time. Mr. Calvin here came on board, the Calvin here Foundation, and put a sponsorship in for a female league. Unfortunately, the team played a couple of games and didn't make it through. But just a couple of games they played being around it. What would you say is the positives from something like that?
I was asked to actually come and assist, and I was disappointed that they dropped out because, although you're losing, just play and finish the league. That's what sportsmanship is about.
Yep.
It's not all about winning. And I tell people that. Even when my son playing football, he don't win. Isaac one is not all about winning. It's about sportsmanship. No I in team. You go and play, it might not be your time, but you might come again and everybody might get licks. Just come and play. I was disappointed that I tell myself that I've done with football.
Really?
Because the last sensible league that I actually played in was the female league that we played at Rangers. That's the last sensible league, and the last team I actually played with was Hoppers.
So that's been a while.
That has been a while, and then female football was just, and then
come now.
Mr. Calvin, he tried to bring it back and.
Well, what I'm saying is right. I think you're influential enough to see if you could either get back forward floating or make a team.
Tell you a joke now. Ajel called me a night. I was getting ready to go play netball, and she asked me if I want to come and play football. I said, Ajel, to be honest, I don't have the time right now because netball just striking up, and then we were actually continuing our training with handball because we wanted to, have like a drafts where we have other people that want to play the sport come, and we have a little like league like.
Yes.
So eventually go back and play,
right?
Just for the love of the sport. But I can't take confusion. But anytime you hear confusion is there, I take away myself.
But it is going to be organized though, because we had just up here the other day, and he said that he was trying to put a female team together.
We knock him, and he said he's going.
Yeah, he's trying to put a female team together.
And for you, I honestly believe you're going to go because Lanik has already said that she wanted everything, mommy. And if Lanik said that, you done motivated half the bat.
I know my soup.
Yeah, your soup. So but
I'm just learning that you're Generation X football mom. I didn't know all the time. I thought you were there with Josie's son. So, as a mom of a Generation X youth, why you choose Generation X at this age? You're on the GNFC sports show. I'm just putting that out there. Go ahead. Yeah. Why you chose Generation X?
That's a very good question, because was it the summer camp?
Exactly.
Yeah.
So those
I was trying to remember how I get to. Yeah, I think it was the summer camp. I saw someone posted it on Facebook, and I wanted to get my son into something that I know, because he loved football. He always played with his dad, but he never actually go out and play with anybody. So after I saw someone posted it, I joined him in the summer club, the summer camp that they had, and then from there I just joined him.
You like it?
He's so big. One football all in the house.
First and foremost, he goes summer camp in summer, and after the summer camp, nobody want to like him. You don't know, he not let so alone now. You know what I say? So it is what it is.
Yeah, and you're saying that sometimes when he lost, you lose a game, you will tell him, hey, it's about the team and so on. But are you stressing him when he come home, hey, why didn't you kick with the right foot? Why didn't you kick with the left foot? Are you stressing him like that?
I use the tell one, because from time they enter the vehicle, you hear all of them out. I'm like, I don't want no knives at my head, because you do foolishness too. Because they're trying to blame one another for what they did. But you made mistakes too.
Okay.
Hey, you ever see one nah smile?
Honestly, the day when I saw him with
Giovanni.
Yeah, I saw him with Giovanni, I guess his cousin or whatever, and he came and picked me up, and I'm thinking, who this you man? And then I look back and say, wait, you look, you get pick up. Somebody say, oh, that's you man. Yeah, and he was a cool nigga. You, I mean, like what?
I never see this kid not smiling. It doesn't matter how hot sun be. This kid just keep smiling. But
Kwan get a ball and go into a goal and Kwan grin. I say, Kwan, what you grinning for? Like,
Awesome
so
stuff.
anyway,
Alright,
Parks.
nice chatting. Listen, we learned something about handball that we didn't know, and that's what this show. That's what this show is about. Thank you so much for joining us here on the GN Sports Show. Keep doing your do. If you add table tennis, if you add the 3-point competition or slam dunk, that's okay too. Nothing wrong with that. But thank you so much for joining us. Everdeen Parker, national netball player, national handball player, and she was a former national football player as well. So, anything with sports, call Rebel. All right, we'll be right back with more here on the GN Sports Show.
We would like to thank the sponsors of Generation Next, Fruta, Antigua Masonry Products, Citizenship by Investment Unit, ACT, Flow, Island Photo, and Francis Trading Agency.
Welcome back to the GN Sports Show. I am Terry Andrew here with George Sauer Doubling, and the whole planet is watching the same thing right now. 48 teams, 3 countries, 1 World Cup.
And approximately 9 million parents, Terry, pretending that they understand the outside rule.
Well, here's the thing. Though Mexico opens the whole tournament with a win, Spain's teenage superstar comes off the bench. Ronaldo's playing his 6th, him and Messi playing actually in their 6th World Cup final at 41 years old. Well, Ronaldo is 41 years old.
And somewhere, a 7-year-old is watching thinking, I want to do that. So today the question, how do you turn watching the World Cup into and actually helping your kid get better and love this game?
Well, without becoming that parent to help us achieve this, we welcome in our doctor in the house, Dr. Rick Millis, just to give us a perspective on coaching your kid from the couch during this World Cup. Dr. Rick, thank you so much for joining us here on the GN Sports Show again.
Good to be here, and I like the topic because, you know, everybody's excited about this World Cup, and even me, an American who doesn't know much about it, I started watching it, and I'm amazed at the eliteness of the athletes. I mean, the games, or matches as you call them, are amazing, you know, in terms of seeing the athleticism. And what really impresses me more than anything is the how intense they are. The intensity, that's the word I'm looking for.
Yep.
The intensity of it. They're much more intense than when I'm watching, for example, you know, soccer or football, and I go through the channels and I see the matches. Okay, they're interesting, but there's not that intensity. And again, a lot of it has to do with the fans too. The fans are going crazy, right? And so
you caught the World Cup fever.
Yeah, I caught it a little bit, and I watched it.
The way you saw it, like you overdosed in fever.
No.
But like you haven't prescribed something for yourself.
Yeah,
it's such a high fever.
Yeah. And of course, I also skip to go to the highlights a lot because, you know, I don't have the time to sit and watch all of it, but it's amazing. And I'm thinking now, when I'm thinking about what we should talk about, you know, on the program, that we really should give parents guidance, I think, about how they can turn this into a real educational, coaching, motivational activity for their child who's in youth sports, especially in soccer or football, as you call it.
All right.
How do you like that? Is that a good idea? We should have that discussion?
But
Just before we go on, you know, Coach, like, George over here offering.
Yeah, I know, he's a coach.
Yeah, he's like the kids at Generation X. They're learning this intensity. Maybe not as intense as you see on TV, but here's where it starts, right here at Generation X. So we have to give George a pat on the back behind there for, you know, for teaching the young children here in Antigua and Barbuda at Generation X that kind of level of
And
intensity stuff.
Green Bay happens still. And-
Right.
and-
Now the question is he...
Don't leave it out there.
Now the question is, we know he's a coach, and we know he has the ability and the intellect to be a great coach,
And he's a parent as well.
and he's a parent, and we have to ask him too. Well, you know, how would he do this?
Yeah.
How would he do this with his own child in terms of turning it into a real good, not only bonding activity, but motivational activity for the youth sportsman or sportswoman?
So Doc,
Yes.
allowing a kid to watch the World Cup,
Yes.
is that actually useful or that's just extra TV time for the child?
Ah, that's a good question. And I say it could be just extra TV time if they're watching it for entertainment. It's, you know, I mean, it is entertaining. And for a kid who's not into the game, it might be just entertaining, or who hasn't made up his mind where, you know, he wants to even, you know, try soccer. Maybe he's into another sport. But even so, it is educational. And the reason it's so educational is you can focus on things that have nothing to do with the skill of the child. And in fact, that's what you should do. You shouldn't focus on, oh, let's watch the ball and let's see what they're doing with the ball. No, you should focus on all the other things that people are doing to make it a team sport. For example, the guy loses the ball. What are you going to talk about with your kid? About why he lost the ball?
No, what he's going to do to get it back.
Okay, but what I would do is I would say, now look how fast he ran back. Look how fast he ran back, or look how slow he ran back. The guy who ran back, I'm going to applaud the guy who ran back fast, right? Because it shows that he knows the game. He knows that he's got to get back in position. It isn't about getting the ball back. It's about the team being in position to get the ball back. Get it?
I hope so.
Yeah. So it's, in other words,
He get it.
so the skill, working, talking to your child about the skill, right, is okay. But if you're gonna just look at the ball moving, right, as the ball moving and the goals that are scored, it's not enough. You can really turn it into an educational activity by saying to the child, to your son, your daughter, hey, let's focus on one player and watch what one player does throughout the whole game, rather than look at the whole game. You see? Let's look at what one player is doing and see how they're playing and see, you know, what's good about what they're doing and what are we going to applaud about them.
So my question is,
Yep.
how long, because it all has to do with age, right? And the concentration span.
Yes,
The
of
span
course.
concentration.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Because if I tell us a 7-year-old or 8-year-old to watch one player,
No.
that 7-year-old or 8-year-old will want to throw me out the house. I go want to throw myself out the house if I'm watching one person.
True.
So it all depends on. So
Yes.
from what age do you think that would be appropriate to use to say, okay, right? Because for me, if, as you say,
Yeah,
you
12,
could ask me-
13-year-old.
As you say, you could ask me because I'm a parent and I'm a coach. What I would do if I was sitting on the couch with my child.
That's correct.
Right. So if I was sitting on the couch with my son, and my son is a centre back, I would choose a centre back on one of the teams for him to pay attention to.
Fantastic.
Because in that way, when they have the ball, he could see what that person is doing
That's
when
right.
they have it. And when they lose it, he also could see what that person is doing. So then now it helps him to be better at the position where he plays.
Right. And
So-
you could ask him questions like, what should he have done?
If he right. And that is just that basic logic to it. No. To add to me after we done cover him position, you remember now as a centre back, you have an other centre back, a wing back, and a wing back around that one player.
Yep.
So now, so we say for the first half hour, he's focusing on what his player should be doing. The player that he's main focus.
Well, you're doing all the right things.
And then the next half hour, now he focuses on what the rest doing.
Ah, beautiful.
So now he starts to add more people into the repertoire of the game. And as the game goes on, you keep adding the different parts of the team, different parts of the field, till now he would have a better understanding of his role,
right,
and the people around him, how he could help them to defend and they could help each other to defend, and how he could help them to go forward in attack and how they could help and so on. That's my perspective. Now, a young kid watching his star player, Jamil Yamal, you
Yes.
think that daddy is cramping his style. So how do we get him to buy into something like that kind of theory?
A younger child, yeah. Well, he may not have the attention span for it, like you said.
I think a 16-year-old probably would last maybe half hour, 30. I don't think a 16-year-old would go down full 45.
So that's what you should do. No, here's what I think that you should do. That maybe you should not do.
Yeah.
You think it was you should not?
yeah. So I'm saying. So John said what we should do, right?
What
And you
I
agree.
would do. What I
And
would
I
do.
agree.
Yeah, and I. So let me tell you what I'm doing right now. I have a 4-year-old in the house. He knows Messi and he knows Ronaldo. And yesterday I think he picked up Mbappe, the name Mbappe, right? And if those guys are not playing, he's not interested in no.
Oh, really?
He's not interested in no kind of. He's 4 years old though.
Oh, okay, yes.
And he's never played the sport before, other than kick around with me in the yard or what's not. But I know we're not talking about those ones that don't have the attention span to sit down.
Right, he's not really into,
I understand
into it yet.
that. But as a parent,
But I'll give you an idea what you could do. You could take him and you could, just for a few minutes, concentrate on a player and look how many touches he gets, right? Or look at a move that he made and say, let's go out in the backyard and try to do the same thing. Let's see if you can do it. Would he do it?
maybe, but no. But sometimes, and you can ask George. We tell players why you want to come here and do what the guy is doing on TV without practicing it, right?
Yes, yes, of course.
George can speak to this.
I don't encourage that. You can't just want to come today and just go on my field and try nothing.
No, but you go in the backyard
Yeah,
and you
yes,
practice
yes,
it, and you say the guy had, let's say, 10 touches, and look at all the different touches he had, and look what he did with the ball, and let's see if we can reproduce that in the backyard and just play around
And see what
and
it
have
is.
fun with
Okay.
it.
Yeah.
So Terry is going to tell us what he would be doing and the coach if he's not a coach.
Oh, so
You're not a coach.
Yes, you're not a coach, you're a parent.
Right.
So you have to give advice to the parents. What do we
Yeah.
want the parents to do?
No.
We want to know what he would be
I'm
doing.
doing. I'm
What
doing.
he would be doing.
We're watching football, and if a goal doesn't go in, no one says anything. We're waiting for a goal. We're waiting for something to happen. Something to happen in the match.
Yeah.
Tactics and looking around and
Yeah,
watching
that's-
players doing this. And as a footballer, I'm looking at that. But for my son, he's not looking. He doesn't care about that.
He probably has his phone in his hand.
Yeah, or a tablet, looking up. Oh, nice,
Yeah.
nice. I like the color of the jersey. The stands filled with more yellow than green. Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah, of
In
course,
sense.
at that age.
In
At
that
that age.
sense. Yeah,
At
in
that
sense.
age. Yes. But we're talking about
13s and up.
Yes, yes, even 11, 12, depending on how good, how much into it they are, their interest level.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely. And so, these elite athletes are amazing. So it becomes a real educational experience that they're not going to have a chance to look at usually, or unless they're going to go look at replays. Another thing you can do is, if you have a remote that can stop the action,
Pause.
you can pause it and say, what do you think's going to happen next? You see, where should this guy go next? And let's now look and see what. In other words, what we're doing is we're not using it as entertainment, but we're really turning it into an educational experience, right?
Yes. No.
And the question is, are you only going to applaud the goals? No, you applaud the what? Effort.
The effort.
You applaud the effort.
In George's household, but in Terry's household.
Yeah,
in Terry's household, we're just watching this and we're enjoying the football.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're not going to cloud his judgment or.
Well, yes.
Maybe we're going to argue about some things. What do you think about that? Oh, he's not good. That's a bad play. In that sense, and that's kind of, I guess, that's another aspect of learning.
Well, here's another aspect that you might not think about. How about sportsmanship? What should we do about sportsmanship? When we see these athletes, right? You see times when there's some bad sportsmanship, don't you?
Of course.
Yep.
And I think you should discuss that with the child, don't you?
Well, as I say, I'm a coach and I'm a dad.
Yes.
And from my perspective, I'm very fair and I'm very honest with my son. You understand? As for me, I don't have been, my son doesn't live with me, but for the times he's been around me, I've never seen a bad trait. If my son tackles somebody and he realized that he didn't mean to kick them and all that, but he tackled him, they get real bad, he's not moving from over that person. You know what I'm saying? He's either trying to pull him up or tell him sorry or whatever the case may be. And he's really like intense if he's always trying to get everybody to go. So, you know, and like you said, how the intensity of it is. So for my son, I have always told him, you can control one thing in sport and life, is the effort you make.
Absolutely.
How good you be on the day is subject to who you're playing against, the environment, and such. But you can control your effort, the level of intensity you bring.
Absolutely.
So
Our last guest, she's a mom of a Generation X child, and she said she was telling her son about sportsmanship, and that was important. That was important.
Yeah.
So it's something that I guess
It's an important aspect because you're going to see, I think you should applaud when you see it on TV, good sportsmanship, and you should point that out to the child. Hey, look what that guy is doing. But also you need to point out, hey, what do you think about what he just did? Is that fair? And you have these discussions.
So this is the question. You have a young son, a young daughter playing the sport. Yamil Yamal is on stage, on show, 18 years old.
Now, this is the guy
That plays for Spain.
who plays for Spain. Now, hold on. From what I remember, they brought him off the bench because he's nursing a hamstring injury, isn't
that's
he?
the guy. Yes.
Right? And your child is a big fan of this particular individual.
Yes.
Right? Now, for me, most young people that I've been around, they only see the good in which. Meaning, like, he gets the ball, he flicks it, he dribbles, he runs past somebody, he scores. They see that. But the effort he makes to defend, the effort he makes it, how do you get them to start to gravitate to just not the tricks and flicks? Because that is what they see, the tricks and flicks.
And they're going to remember that.
I could remember, I'm saying this, I'm a defender, right? And I have defenders at Generation X who are coach. But their favorite players, Yamil Yamal, Lionel Messi, Mbappe, and you're a defender.
The flashy players.
You can't ask them. The only defender they know is Van Dijk.
Right. But your child is going to respond to what you say. So if you say, okay, that was a great play, but look at how the other person set him up, or how the other person got in his way and messed up his play, now you're expanding their view of the game and they're learning more about the game, in my opinion.
Yeah, and
Or how fast they got back after they lost the ball, rather than slow. One guy got back slow, one guy got back fast. It may not have made any difference at that point, but at least you're saying, oh man, look at how that guy got back fast.
yeah, makes sense. And see the same World Cup fever you're feeling? Like there's 9 and 10-year-olds now that's watching World Cup as for the first time, just watching it. Yeah, he comes every 4 or 5 years.
In 4 years.
In 4 years. So and the first time they were oh, that's the World Cup on TV. That's just a game. But now they say, oh, this is important. Oh, look at this guy. Look at you know, and in that sense they're thinking, okay, yes, I want to learn more.
Yeah.
Or no, I don't care no more.
Yeah, it could be. That happens too.
Than I was in the other. But you saying these solid pointing out some of these things maybe will create that interest as well.
That's what
even
I'm
if
saying.
They don't play it.
Yeah, and they're going to remember that, you know. And for example, another thing you can do with your child is say, you know, I'm enjoying watching them, but when I watch you play, I enjoy it just as much.
As a parent, right?
As a parent,
Okay.
I enjoy. You know what I enjoy when I come to your games? Watching you play, just like as much as I'm enjoying watching these guys play. You know, something positive, something
Right.
positive. 5 positives, right, for every correction. Did you know that that's the rule? Yeah, there's a rule. 5 positives for every correction. In other words, you have to say 5 positive things about their play or their effort,
Right.
or what they're doing for every one correction.
I find that it works, you know.
Yes.
Because like sometimes I'll be talking to a player who just made a mistake, but like his effort getting back was good, his communication to call somebody was good. So I complimented all that before I tell him what he did wrong, and it tends to get them to do what you want them to do. I've seen that a couple of times, but sometimes I just go straight to the point. Sometimes I just go straight to the point. But I'm saying is
in the
that-
heat of the moment.
yeah,
in the heat of the moment, sometimes you can't. I think you have to miss about maybe 3 of those good positives.
Okay, now let's focus on the coaches. Do you ever watch the coaches in these games?
Of course, they're very much animated. They're very, very
They're
animated.
very
hold on,
much.
wait, hold on. I don't know if you saw the South Korea and Mexico game.
I did not.
Last night.
That guy was on the chair like this the whole time.
The guy from South Korea?
Yeah, the South Korea
Oh.
coach. It was 0-0 for quite a while.
Right.
I
Yes.
think Mexico scored in the second half.
46 minutes.
So he thought his
As the
coaching
second
was
half
over.
started.
He thought he wasn't really doing any coaching.
No. I think he was allowing them to play, allowing
Yeah,
them to
right.
find
He
solutions
wasn't
out
doing
there.
any coaching.
Yeah.
I think that's a great coach.
Mexico made 5 subs. 5 subs before this guy gets up. Point. But then again, I mean, they're coaches that did the work already
They
before
did.
they come to the game.
That's my point.
Before they come to the game.
I like those coaches.
They allow they allow the players to figure it out
Yeah.
while they're out there.
Exactly.
And the commentators keep saying, well, this man, whatever the name is, needs to find a solution. And Mexico made all 5 subs, all 5 substitutions before this guy actually got up and even made a sub. I don't even think he made it, well, they took Son off. Yeah, they took Son
Yeah,
off
they did
early.
take Son off.
Yeah, they took Son off early.
Yeah. So how about the coach where they miss a goal or you can see they
Was
you
a
know,
scoring chance.
Yeah, it was a scoring chance, and the coach is going like this, putting his head down, and really animated that he's really disappointed.
At this level, you're going to get a lot of that. But
Yeah,
in
yeah.
all fairness, within himself, he understood the
Yes.
scenario. You
Yes.
understand what I'm saying? But
Yes.
from a neutral, us watching on the TV might draw a negative from him holding his head or
Right.
stamping or slapping his hand.
But you see, my coaching, if I was coaching,
Right.
I would say, "Oh, come on, okay, good effort."
Right.
And George played at the highest level, right?
Yes.
And I'm sure he would tell you that when you're out there playing, you're not looking as a player. You're not looking on the sideline to see your animation of a coach.
No.
I think it's on
Right.
TV. We see that because
We see that, yeah.
they would cut to that.
Yes,
So those at home will see
We'll
that
see
stuff.
it, exactly.
But players out there, they're not looking over there to see if the coach throwing a tantrum.
That's true.
In our time, that wasn't happening. But now, I just be coaching Generation Next. And a man make a mistake, and the first place he look is at me.
Exactly.
Big and hence I don't curse, because if you're looking at me, you acknowledge what you did.
That you made of it.
You understand what I'm saying? So some coaches, they will still be cussing at the player. I'm saying the player look at you. So that alone should tell you, yeah, he realized he did something.
Like,
I did it at training.
I tell you.
No, we win.
Magic all one.
No, but I would get cursed any which way if I was there for no reason whatsoever. So somebody's there. But what I'm saying is that if you, as you say, if you don't put in the work in training,
Yes.
I don't see the need to go on the sideline shouting. Because if you over there hearing me, what I telling my player, say I telling my player, every time I get a dribble at him, you're not gonna tell your player what to do if he's the opposite coach. You know what I'm saying? And I just can't understand how coaches just stay on the sideline making all that sort of noise.
Exactly. So we can look at the coaches. We can learn from. Hey, can the parents? You learn from the coaches. Yeah, the parents should be looking at the coaches and saying, "Okay, if this was my child, and I was on the sidelines, what would I do? What would I say?"
Some of the parents know more than the coaches.
That's true.
Yeah, okay. That's the devil's advocate part. I'm so glad someone said that. Those parents that think they are coaches, I think we're going to run into a problem here when we're making the World Cup and a teaching moment. For some of the parents that think they're coaches,
They're going to go overboard.
yeah, listen, they're going to go more than overboard.
Yeah, they're going to, and that's why we're having this segment to tell them not to go overboard.
Okay.
The whole segment is about, hey, this is not your time to coach. This is the time to bond with the child and talk about educationally, okay, what's good about this play, what's good about what's happening, what's bad about it, not necessarily just applauding the goals.
Yep.
You see? In other words, like I said, I'll give you a perfect example in my life. So I played on the All-Army basketball team during the Vietnam War. It kept me out of Vietnam, right? And the only players on that team that I was on were non-NBA players. But there was one NBA player from the Chicago Bulls. His name was Johnny Baum. Okay, you can look him up. And he got drafted into the Army. He was in the Army at the same time I was. And so we ended up being on the same team, this all-Army basketball team, that would go around and play exhibition games against colleges and universities because the U.S. Army didn't have a good name in those days. It was like a PR thing,
Okay.
you know, a public relations thing. But it was great for me because it kept me out of Vietnam for a while. So he's playing, Johnny Baum, this guy from the Chicago Bulls, is playing with me and 3 or 4 other guys who have never played in the NBA, right? Now, we thought we were as good as he was, but we weren't. But he has a big contract. I mean, in those days, not like the contracts they have now. He's not making, tens of millions of dollars. But, he probably had a couple $100,000 contract. Now, back in the 1960s, that was something, right? And he's now in the Army, wearing an Army uniform and playing on this team with me, with us. And you would think that, he would just kind of lollygag. You know what lollygagging is?
Yeah.
Just kind of go
Go
along,
through the motions.
go through the motions, play. This guy was all out. And that impressed me more than anything else. So we had a bad play or we scored, and we are coming back slow on defense, and he's beating everybody back on defense, this NBA player. And to this day, look how many years later. We're talking about 60 years later. 60 years later, I remember him. And I remember his effort. You see? And I'm applauding his effort, and I wish I can have that effort, And many times when I was playing since then, during a game, I would think about him, say, well, if an NBA player can get back on defense.
In a scrimmage.
In a scrimmage game or in an Army game where, it's not an NBA game, I can do it here. And it made me a better player.
All right. So let me ask you this. At that point in time, when he was doing that, did it do it for you? At that time? Or afterwards?
No, it did. I was impressed at that time.
No, I mean, you were impressed, but did you
it forced me to make an extra
okay.
effort to get back. Say, hey, if he's running back like that, and again, I'm very slow anyway, and I like shooting and whatever, and then on defense, I'm not too happy about playing defense, and I go back slow.
Yeah.
But it taught me how to improve my game, which I did at that time, and since then. Now, was I ever as good as him? No, I was never as good as him and could do all the things that he could do, but I could see I was improving. It improved my game, and it made me more competitive and more valuable as a what? Teammate.
Okay.
Even in pickup games, even when I was in my 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, 70s, and now
Yep.
I don't want to say.
But
18.
Now 18
Now you're
backwards.
18.
Now 18
in our
backwards.
pickup games back in the day when I used to play a little basketball, because I played a little bit,
Yes.
right? I played a little bit, right? And we used to go on the court in the afternoon times. It did need a Johnny Bomb. Because if you lose, that's it for the rest of the day.
Yeah, right.
There's so much teams waiting to play.
Well,
So-
here at JSC on the island, I run in
Yes,
that too.
yes,
I stopped going.
Yeah.
because first of all, nobody wants to play with an old white guy like me, and then when they do pick me up, they know I can shoot, and they'll give me the ball. Well, if I miss,
I saw you play a few times.
Yeah.
I saw you play because I just live on the other side. On the other side.
And if I miss the shot one time, they want to substitute for me immediately, right? So, but then if you're not on the winning team, a few times I've been on the winning team, and I got to stay for an hour or so.
Right. Couple of games well.
Yeah, but. No, there's so many people waiting that you're right.
So
you lose your shot.
You don't need no Johnny Bomb. Back in the day, there's no Johnny Bomb necessary because
but Johnny Bomb can carry a team.
No, I understand the carrying the team.
Yeah.
But I was just saying is like we were motivated by wanting to be on the court.
Yes.
Because if you lose, you're out.
Even today, I'm motivated like that. I just can't do what I want to do.
Yeah.
But think about, those are the things you can point out to your children when you're watching the World Cup.
Definitely.
Look at the effort, right? That's what's being applauded, not necessarily the goals and the scoring and the fancy stuff.
How much games you watch so far now? Like a whole game? You watch a whole game? Okay.
Never watched
so
those.
how many?
you watch so far?
Yeah,
Like they just
pass the
by.
TV.
How much
Yeah.
caught your eye?
I watched one and I was falling asleep. I watched the highlights.
But right. So for me, the teams that show the most effort
Yes.
are the Asian teams.
Yes,
They
good
like
point.
they don't like they can't get tired.
Yeah.
South Korea, Japan, yeah, they just keep going.
Well, how about this African team from
Ghana?
Verde? From
Cape Verde.
Cape Verde. Yeah, Verde. Amazing, right?
Yeah.
They had a lot of intensity, didn't they?
Yeah.
But you see now, they're there for a World Cup, and the adrenaline of being in a World Cup against a team like Spain.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying? So all that they use just that moment to fuel their whole game.
Yeah, I agree.
And
Can they keep it going?
well,
Probably not, but we'll see.
But as a parent, now watching that, you could use that with your child in terms of when he's playing against a team that is more known than the team that he's on.
Absolutely.
Oh, better team.
Yeah,
Better
when he's playing against a team with a player who everybody thinks is the best player in that age category,
Right.
he uses that to fuel his drive.
Right.
Because I keep telling people, I made teams by being as good as the best man in that age group. That's how.
Yeah.
So usually the best player in most teams are strikers. If you want to be classified as a good defender, you have to be able to close out the best strikers. And that is how I made my name.
All right, going back to the kids. So during the World Cup, getting the World Cup fever like you, we're gonna have a lot of kids going into the sport of football, soccer, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
But on the flip side, there are gonna be a lot of kids that quitting sports as well.
They're going to lose interest.
Yeah, lose interest. Why is this?
Well, I think usually they lose interest because it's not fun anymore. It's got to be fun. These are not professionals yet. Maybe one out of 1,000, 1 out of 10,000 will become a professional, right? Mm-hmm.
That's the ratio?
I don't know.
Yeah,
there's something
you always,
like that.
You always hear that term coming out of college. Only 1 out of all you China.
Yeah, and it's yes, of course, there's a lot of truth to that. But the question is, even though they're not professionals, what do you do to keep it fun? Because if it's not fun, they're going to quit. That's my opinion. What do you think? When it's not fun, they're going to quit.
Yeah, I think so.
When they
if they're not enjoying it,
well, enjoyment and fun are two different things, maybe. Not always the same thing.
Well, for
I
us,
say it's got to be fun.
For us, enjoyment and fun is in it.
Yeah, okay. They're having fun.
Right.
In other words, they're not put under a lot of stress.
But you see,
Is stress fun?
I think it's a free environment, meaning like, when they could just go out and freely play, I think this is where they had the most fun. But
Yes.
because in academies and clubs where we want to win, it becomes so structured that the
Yes.
fun gets taken out of it to some extent. But there are ways that you could still add fun into it, but structure it. Because there's structured fun. I think there's such thing as structured
Right.
fun.
Well, a lot of kids feel left out. They may not feel part of the group. They may not be playing enough. Or they may feel that they're not getting enough attention from the coaches. Tell me, do coaches find favorite players that they coach more than the others? Of course.
Yes, it happens.
It's human nature.
But that Generation
You have
Next, Generation Next has 6 age groups, right? And let me say in U9s, right? So we have 20 players. And in a U9 game is 7 players on the pitch, 6 and the goalkeeper, right? And so what we have to do, because we are 20 players, if we have one team in the league, some of the players won't play. The better ones are going to play because we want to win because it's a league.
Yeah.
So what we do is have 2 teams, and so we have an A team and a B team, and parents cussing that their child is not on the A team. The child on the B team getting all the play in the world, developing, gaining an opportunity, but they're just not on the best team in the 2.
Yeah.
And we had to be explaining to parents, well, he's not up to the standard of these players yet, but
Right.
we
But
didn't
next
want to have
time he
one-
will be.
We don't want to have one team, so we're putting him on this team where he could play more, where he could get exert himself, and then maybe when somebody from this age group moves on, and he's still within the age group, he'll move on to the 8.
Makes perfect sense to me.
We still have argument. People want to take the child out. They think we're favoring other children. So how
So that's
do you-
too
how
much
do we-
pressure
how
from the
do we
parent.
deal with that now?
You can't.
So that's why- that's
the
why we-
parents have to be educated. That's why we have to talk about these things on the air. Some parents who understand that the B
of
team,
of course.
that the B team.
And at that
good for
age
them.
is developing.
It's in the,
7?
it's in the minority though.
Well, even in the NBA and in professional sports, they have developmental leagues.
Oh yes, they are developmental league.
Yeah, so
like
that's
the G
be
League
like
about the G League
Right.
NBA.
so. This would be called a developmental team.
And to add to it, Doc, there are some parents who honestly understand that yes, my child is not as good as that 7 or 8 children that's on that team. Some of them do understand that.
Yeah, and how about
I'm not
doing-
saying all of them don't. Some of them really do understand that their child is not as good as that 9 or 10 players, so they would understand.
And maybe it's the way you label the teams. You called it A. Wait a second. A and B. Now, come on. We know A comes before B.
We do
How
one
about
or
how about doing it by colors?
1 or 2.
Yellow and red.
Generation X blue.
Green
Generation X
team.
yellow.
The green team. You're on the green team, and you're on the red
They
team.
could listen from the time they see maybe 3 or 4 players that better than the child, they could know that one is
They know that the green team is the B team, and the red team is.
they can get to that point. But Doc, to be honest, I think it is always good for any. One of my drives was the fact that I know my mother is going to come and watch me every weekend consistently.
And what did she tell you? Did she criticize you?
No, she didn't.
And she came to see you because why?
Because
Because she loved to see you play. Repeat after me.
She loved to see me.
Repeat after me.
She's not to see you play.
And what are you going to say to your child? I love to see you play. I love to see you play as much as I love watching the World Cup. I love to see you play. That's why you come to their games, not to see them score.
Listen, now I went to watch my son once, and after we finished and we driving home, he asked me, "Daddy, how I play? I did good. I said, listen, I was just there to watch you run up and down, and I enjoyed that.
That's correct.
However, it turned, I think they won.
Although I think you needed more emotion in
Yeah,
that.
I don't have much emotion. I'm very, very, very.
Yeah, I can
my,
see.
my,
I can
my,
see.
my level of emotion.
Don't you hug him once in a while and say, "Hey, I just love to see you play"?
I-
Oh, great. Okay.
That's
Well,
what you
he knows. He knows that you love to see him play.
Of course,
Excellent.
So that. But that. I love the fact that you want to get the parents involved and the parents more in tune with what's going on, and so in that way they can have a good conversation with the child. You understand? Because
Right, and I
learn in the
think,
sport.
and the more we talk about it in public, like we're doing here, are we going to convince every parent? Are we going to change every parent's behavior?
Maybe
No,
not.
but we change enough of them where we make progress. Right?
Because I'm not just saying to all the parents out there who will watching this show, make
Talk to
sure
them.
and get your son a shirt of the player that he likes.
Good.
Yeah, make sure you get your son a shirt of the player that he likes. Because
And don't we have to get more girls involved too? Why are we always talking about the sons?
Well, I have a son that.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I gotta talk about what I gotta talk about what I have now.
She doesn't
Well, we
really
have
care
to
about sports.
maybe. Yeah, well, maybe we have to have another discussion about girls
Yeah,
sports.
listen, I try to get her to play some kind of sport. And
Terry,
she likes the phone.
answer this question. How much kids you know in this country get a superstar shirt and wear it till the name drop off?
A lot of you.
So I'm saying is like, if the parent if a parent gets a child a shirt of that child is going to, the parent is going to be a better bond because they understand that the parents understand where they're going, and then they're just going to wear that shirt until they do the right.
Yeah, I'm at an age right now that I can buy a new one, or one without the name or whatever. But
I
before,
never had a shirt with somebody else's name. I always wanted a shirt with my name, but it never just occurred to me that I wanted to wear somebody else's shirt. Isn't that interesting?
That is crazy, especially when Michael Jordan.
I never liked it.
Well. First of all, Michael Jordan came way after I was.
Who was the
that
big
age.
player from Chicago in your time?
Well, actually,
Was they the Bulls in your time?
no, there was no Chicago Bulls.
Oh,
it was,
okay.
it was the Chicago Zephyrs. They had teams.
CBA?
And well, no, it was the NBA team.
NBA?
Yeah, but the point is, even in football or baseball, I played baseball. There was this shortstop, Chico Carrascal for the Chicago White Sox. Minnie Minoso, you might have heard, from the Chicago White Sox, and that was my team, right? I never had any interest in wearing their jerseys. But what did I do? I wanted to go out and I wanted to try to reproduce what I saw them do. In other words, I wanted to just go out and play on the playground and try to do what I saw them do. and I think that's the best thing. So I'm not really a fan of wearing
hold on.
those shirts because they have a number.
Commercializing of the teams weren't probably big in those
No,
days.
it wasn't that
Okay,
big.
I guess that's
But
right.
Doc, so you're from Chicago, Illinois.
Yes.
So you grew up backing teams, supporting teams from Chicago.
Yes, generally.
Now, when you moved from Chicago to West Miami, Palm Springs,
I never.
you started supporting teams from.
No, well, it's complicated. It's complicated because, for example, I got interested in teams that were the underdogs. I always liked the underdogs.
Okay.
And so I became a fan of the New Orleans Saints because they were underdogs for so long in football,
Right. Okay.
American football. And then they, started winning and doing very well and making some good draft choices and all that kind of stuff. So I just like to see a good game. I just like to see a good game. I don't really root for the team too much. Like the New York Knicks just won the NBA
So we're
championship.
saying you're not a loyal.
Yes, that's correct. I'm not a loyal.
That's not good.
No,
When
I
you go
know.
home tonight,
I can
make
switch
sure-
up. I can switch up. I can switch up in a second.
Me too.
Yeah,
I'm
I always root for the underdog.
Yeah,
Unless there's a real good championship team that keeps winning and winning and winning. Sometimes I root for them too. You know why? Because when you're on top, it's very hard to stay on top. Because everybody's gunning for you. You got to always be on top. So that was the Chicago Bulls. That was the what?
New England Patriots.
New England Patriots. That was Steph Curry and his crew in Golden State Warriors. It's hard to stay on top as a champion. So, again, I switch up a lot. Sometimes for the underdog, sometimes for the top dog.
All right, Doc.
And you guys are both my top dogs.
Attaboy. Thank you, Doc. That was our conversation with Rick Millis. Coaching your kid from the couch during the World Cup. You got a few know-hows and a few steps or just a few advice how you can do that when you're watching the World Cup.
Hey, wait a second. Before you go, what were those 6 words?
I love to see my
love
kids.
to see you play.
I love to see you play.
Repeat that to your kids.
All right. That's all for our time here with our doctor in the house, Rick Millis. We'll be right back with more here on the GN Sports Show. Well, we've come to the end of another exciting show here on the GN Sports Show, George.
Yeah, definitely, Terry, and it was insightful. We have 2 young and aspiring athletes. We had on the show here this evening, and also the doc was on the show this evening, Terry, and the World Cup fever is biting the doc. The World Cup fever is biting all of us, Terry, because both of us are very excited about what's going on in the World Cup.
Yeah, and parents, hope you take something from it while watching the World Cup, using it as a teaching experience, as the doc advises for us. Of course, we always enjoy bringing this show to you, to your living rooms. I hope you enjoyed it. I am Terry Andrew. Thank you so much for joining me.
It's their time to shine on the GN Sports. So grab your gear, lace up those shoes. It's time to show the world what you can do. On the GN Sports Show, you'll find your light. With every step, you're reaching new heights. GN Sports, ho! GN Sports, where the youth lead the way. Champions of tomorrow, making waves today. From ages 5 and up, we help them grow. It's their time to shine on the GN Sports Show. Yo, GN Sports Show, yo. Yo, GN Sports Show. Yo, GN Sports Show, yo. Yo, GN Sports Show. So grab your gear, lace up those shoes. It's time to show the world what you can do. On the GN Sports Show, you'll find your light with every step.